Nick Ilkins just come back for a London Stadium virtually. It was West Ham 3, Arsenal 3. I've got the Godfather with us. Robbie, it must have been a brilliant game for the neutral, mate. And I'm sure your emotions went through the ringer.
Do you know what? When we went 3-0 down, I'm like, this is like reminding me of the old days with Arsenal where teams are going to put like 5, 6 past us. I couldn't believe what I was watching, to be honest, because most of the games that we started recently, we've been on the front foot. We've been, last week against Tottenham, took the game to them. We've been doing that with most teams recently. And then fair play to West Ham. I thought they were brilliant, especially in that first 20 minutes. They were just completely on our necks. And even though, we were trying to sort of play, we just couldn't. But it was a very the first 20 minutes was very lackluster. We looked like a team that had just played on Thursday night. And West Ham looked like a team that was energised and were coming for the kill. And it had to be Lingard. We were saying before the game, we go, this guy, he always scores against Arsenal. He's going to score, run off, do his dance, what he always does. He didn't actually do the dance this time. But, it was a great goal by him. The second goal, though, I was particularly disappointed with by Arsenal. I mean, completely switched off. There's 3 Arsenal players that look like they're facing away from the actual play. I'm like,
listen, mate, you've got kids, mate. That's what you get taught. As soon as you give away a free kick, argue with it, but stand in front of the ball while you're arguing.
Stand up in front of the ball. And then Leno as well, getting beaten by that on the near post. It wasn't a particularly hard shot. It was just that kind of epitomised for me that they'd switched off. And then the third goal, when that goes in, I'm like, my God, man, this is going to be a very long day. But then after that, it's almost like all of a sudden they realised that, what's coming their way. From the fans, from the media, from everybody, what's going to come their way. And they just sprung into life. Got the goal back. And then after that, I thought we were excellent. I thought, even in that first half, Saka had a couple of chances. And I kept saying, if we can get one back, you might have a very nervous West Ham. Huh? And it was a brilliant comeback in the end. I mean, I know you guys did it earlier in the season against Tottenham, and I remember that. That was a brilliant one.
Brilliant day.
Well, I think if you go 3-0 down and you come back, it's very hard. Even though the players deserve criticism for the sloppy way in which they started the game, I find it very hard to criticise a team when I've seen fight and heart to come back into the game.
To be honest with you, Rob, a lot of West Ham talk is of a West Ham meltdown, but I think that's a bit harsh on Arsenal because I do think they was the better side for a large period of the game, and as I said, I think you was quite unlucky not to come away with all 3 in the end.
Yeah, I mean, we were doing a stream over here, and we were a bit gutted when the final whistle went. We were like, give us another 10 minutes, man. And plus as well, we just felt that we had chances to win it. You know what I mean? Pepe, I think he had a couple of chances. He's a bit stronger. He should have been a bit stronger there. He's in good positions to get a shot off. But then I do think, when I look back at the game afterwards, I'm like, overall, it was a fair result. Mikel Antonio, he hit the post, which I couldn't believe he hit that. The post, we had one as well where, I think it was Tierney made a great block. Chambers made a block. Both sets of teams had a load of chances, but I did feel that once you went 3-0 up, we dominated after that. I don't know if it was West Ham just saying, all right, let's just be sensible now and just, but it was all Arsenal after that, I felt. All Arsenal.
It was.
Couple of times West Ham on the break, but it was. I was very, as I said, I've seen us capitulate 5-6 in those cases. And what the encouraging thing I take out of it is that it's an Arsenal team that are fighting for the manager.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of, I was very impressed with Martin Odegaard again for Arsenal as well. I think he's a quality player that we have to sign. He's only on loan, of course, from Real Madrid, but he's been playing like that since we got him. He's a top quality player. We've been missing a player like that all season.
What do you make of West Ham, Rob? Do you think the top 4 maybe a little bit of a step too far? Do you think, what do you make of West Ham as a side? I mean, I know they've come a little bit unstuck today, but you've been keeping an eye on us, I'm sure, like a lot of the top clubs have. What do you make of our season?
No, very impressed. Very impressed with West Ham. I said before our stream started, I said it's not a fluke that West Ham are where they are. They've played very good football this season. You know what I mean? They've got a very good team. They've got some quality players. You know, I was glad when I saw the team and that Adbono weren't playing because I've seen him playing this season. He's looked really, really good. Souček, excellent. That Kufal as well. I think, you know, even though today was a bit naughty at times, but he's a strong player, you know. And then obviously, you know, Declan Rice, Ben Rama, you know, I think West Ham deserve to be where they are. I really like Mikel Antonio as well. You know, because I just look on him and I think that's a guy that's like grafted and has had loads of criticism, and he is such a good player. He's so hard to deal with. You know what I mean? You saw his goal today. He's such I think it went to Souček in the end, was it? But I
think he got the touch. Yeah, he got the touch.
He's such a difficult player to handle, and a lot of times he's up there playing on his own. And I think I think if he was 5 years younger, surely he'd have to be in the England squad. I was thinking he might be playing for Jamaica, but he's been excellent this season. So it's no fluke with West Ham. It's not a fluke. They deserve to be up there. I mean, we played Tottenham last week. That everybody's, you know, up until that game, people are saying, "Oh, they got this player and Bale and this and that." No, I think West Ham are a much better team at the moment than say a Tottenham. So they deserve to be where they are. And, you know, I think, you know, you could still, I think it's more likely the top 6 than top 4. Because I just wonder, like, especially after you see a game like today, you wonder to yourself when it boils down to the last, say, 4 or 5 games where every game's a must win.
This is where
are West Ham going to have that to get over the line? Where a team like, say, a Chelsea, they're used to that situation, you know what I mean? And they got the squad that they probably could win 4 back-to-back games to get them into the top 4. I'm not sure, but certainly when I look at some of the other teams around West Ham, like Everton's and Tottenham's, and you know, I think, you know, just as good, if not better, than those teams. So you got a great shout for getting in. I think more top 6 and 4 though.
I think our squad have come to bite us in the butt at the end of it all. That's what I think, that, you know, 2 goalkeepers on the bench for the last sort of 6 weeks or so. Still a couple of players shy. I feel like we ain't got a centre forward, Rob, at the end of the day. I just got to ask you quickly before I let you go, Robbie. Funny enough, we're a year away from football, just coming up to a year away from not attending Premier League games. The last year has been, you know, tough, for everybody mentally, you know, mental health on the downpour. But how has your year been as an Arsenal fan, as a Fan TV, you know, entrepreneur and all of that sort of thing? They're similar to us because, funny enough, it's a year since we last went to the Emirates and we saw.
Remember that? It's true.
Yeah,
that was like the last game.
The last game that we've seen each other. So catching up a year later, mate. Like, just quickly, I might trim this out of the fan cam and just put it up on its own. But how has your year been?
Do you know what? It's been a crazy year. I think it's been up and down. You know what I mean? We've had to learn new ways of doing content. You know, we never used to do like watch-alongs and stuff like that. But obviously, we're not at games, so we've started doing watch-alongs and that, and they've gone really, really good. If I'm being honest, they've been brilliant. We've got great numbers on it, and I'm just grateful that we've still been able to do content. Of course, it's not the same as being at games. We want to be at games. We want to be out there. We want to be meeting people. You can't do that at the moment. So, but what's been really pleasing is the response that we've had. Lots of people saying that, you know, your content's kept us going through this period. You know what I mean? We've still been able to feel connected to Arsenal, feel connected to football. So it's been brilliant. But it's been a crazy year. I mean, for me personally, I had COVID. You know what I mean? I had it around Christmas time. Christmas Day, I was in bed half my day with COVID. You know what I mean? So it weren't a great Christmas. So this thing has been an absolute disaster. It's been terrible. But in a way, I'm very grateful because we've still been able to do what we do. You know what I mean? And not the same, but do what we do. Whereas a lot of people, they haven't been to work. They haven't been around people.
Lost their jobs.
Yeah. can't see what the future holds. You know what I mean? Even my daughter's a student at university. It's ruined her final year at uni. It's ruined, imagine someone starting off at a uni, it's ruined their year, it's ruined school kids. It's been horrible. It's been horrible. And on a football tip, I'm just thinking to myself, I hope when we do go back that there's an appreciation by the owners of these football clubs, the TV companies, of football fans. They see the importance of us now, right? Because with us not there, it's not the same game. I've even spoken to players who've said it's not the same. That's why you've had all these crazy results where you'll have a team that's playing away. I mean, I think there's been more away wins than home wins and stuff like that. When have you ever seen that?
Like mid-table teams come in from 3-0 down and drawing a game with a top side.
Hey, but it has been.
I Josh. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy.
It's been crazy, and I just can't wait for when football fans can return to games and stuff like that. But listen, we got to give. At least we've had football. I think there was one time when there was people saying, football shouldn't come back.
I was one of them, Rob. I'll be honest. I was one.
You know what? I was always one saying, no, it needs to come back. And I remember getting a lot of stick about it at the time because people were saying, Robbie, they were trying to put this thing on me. You're just trying to get money. I said, it's got nothing to do with that. For me, I'm like, we just need like something to bring back a bit of normality. And even though the football's been behind closed doors, at least we can still watch football, talk about football, get behind our club, and I remember those when football first stopped and there was no football at all. It was that was really hard. So I'm glad it's back.
No, absolutely, mate. I think my microphone's run out of battery, so I've got to shove it to one side.
No worries,
Robbie. It's always a pleasure, mate. It's always a pleasure to meet you, and I'm sure we'll be back next season, and I'm sure we'll be at the Emirates and back at the London Stadium, and I'll be back. Listen, I want to say a big shout out as well because I've been watching the Don Robbie channel. It's brilliant. Anyone that ain't subscribed to Don Robbie yet, go and subscribe to that because it's great, and I'm going to be on there one day. I'm sure. It's my ambition.
Not that ambition. You're coming on.
No, I really appreciate it. So, thank you so much.
Take care, mate.
Take care.